Ladies and gentlemen, Invincible! Sweet Christmas! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that time of the week. Video comic book reviews with none other than Mike Rappin from DestroyTheSide.org. This week, mediocre sized list, so let's just jump right into it. Invincible number 67 came out this week, featuring Alan the Alien, who's over here, and Omni-Man, who is up here. They're kind of getting their asses handed to them by some crazy aliens. I'll let you read the issue to figure that out. Drawn by Cory Walker, written by Robert Kirkman. This is like 3 weeks in a row that I've had a Kirkman book. 4 weeks, maybe. Who even knows? Are you keeping track? Because I've only been doing 3 episodes. How could there be 4 weeks? Yeah, this week was pretty awesome. There was some fun stuff, funny stuff about sex and other things. I love this freaking comic book, and there's nothing more that I can say. If you can, start reading at some point. Go find an issue that's like a jumping on point. I think 66 was a good jumping on point. I don't know, there was a couple other jumping on points. I'm pretty sure if you ask your local comic book dealer if they sell Invincible, like they'll be able to point you out, because I'm pretty sure that like every comic book owner or comic book shop owner reads this freaking comic. Amazing Spider-Man 609, featuring cover with Ben Reilly, who, thanks to Marcus at the comic book came over, he informed me as to who Ben Reilly was, gave me a little bit of a breakdown. This week more focused on the plot with the Raptor and Kane and other things. There was a little bit of drama with Peter Parker's roommate. Again, I'll let you read this one. It's pretty good. It picked up from the last issue, and I'm starting to like it more. It's more based on Spider-Man rather than crazy-ass backstory that I don't understand. Maybe I'm just being a dick, but that's how I saw this comic this week. The art was kind of bleh. Again, it's the same artist from last time, Chichetto. Maybe that's how you say his name. It's right here in the front, Chichetto. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's pseudo-anime-ish, and I think I talked about that last time. But Mark Guggenheim, who's writing this, he's hinting at other little subplot stories with Speedster, or whatever the hell her name was. Crazy. I don't care about her, but they're making her like more important, so whatever. Moving on, X-Men Legacy. Thank you, Mike Carey. This month, thank you. Thank you, because this story is kicking lots of ass. If you have been reading X-Men Legacy, you know what's going on. There's this crazy-ass dude whose name I can't remember. Apparently he showed up in the 90s, and now he's all of a sudden back. He feeds off of mutant bone marrow, and so he kidnapped one of the X-Men, and yeah, the art was like hit and miss, like page by page. Like I really liked it, but then like I was like, I don't like the way that little girl's face looked, but other than that, it was really good. It's a really cool story, and like I said, thank you, Mike Carey, for kicking it up a notch and writing some really good stuff. Because in the past, previous X-Men Legacy stuff, I wasn't like a huge fan of. Like early on, right before the Gambit and Professor Xavier like arc, it was kind of like, why am I reading this? Despite my love for the X-Men, why am I reading this? But good stuff. Spider-Woman number 2. Brian Michael Bendis, he confuses me sometimes, because like he's really good, and then like he writes issues like this where nothing happens. I felt like, nothing happens. If you've been reading Spider-Woman since like issue 1, like I have, this is issue 2, by the way. I was kind of like, oh cool, this is gonna be awesome. And then there was this whole issue was just Spider-Woman just sitting and talking to herself for 22 pages, and then there was like, I have powers, here they are. It was really flat. There was no like, yes moment. It was just like, ugh. I wasn't a huge fan. I'm going to keep buying because the art is so good. The art is so good that I'm going to keep buying a comic book. That's what it comes down to. And I know that Brian Michael Bendis is going to turn it around, because he always does that. I'm always like, Brian Michael Bendis. And then he turns it around, and it's awesome. Punisher Noir number 3. I think I covered a Noir book before. It might have been Luke Cage. Good goddamn. This stuff is so good. The end. The Noir universe is really damn good. This month's issue, they're like I felt like they were like speeding along in the plot, because I mean this is issue 3 of 4, I think, and the first 2 issues had nothing to do with like Frank Castle or whatever, Castelloni, I think they say his name is in this book. It was actually about his dad, and so it's very interesting. I really, really love the way that they're telling the story in this. Like, it's about like these 3 main villains. After the first 2 issues, they're focused on 3 main villains: Barracuda, Jigsaw, and a questionable her, who they don't ever tell you in this issue. They tell Frank Castle's character, like, in his ear, like, Jigsaw's like, pss, 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 and it's like, oh my god, but you don't know who it is. So it's gonna keep me reading to the 4th issue. Obviously, I freaking love this stuff. So if you're not reading Punisher Noir, go pick up the first 2 issues. I guarantee you, your comic shop didn't sell out of them. Invincible freaking Iron Man. But oh my god. Oh, yeah, someone was telling me, I think Marcus, maybe even Corey, who works for Destroy the Cyborg, somebody was telling me that they were like, oh, this arc with the end of Iron Man is going on forever, and it's like, well, it's all gonna lead up to something awesome, and it did. This issue was just plain badass. Like, there's a huge fight in it between Norman Osborn and Tony Stark, aka the Cover. Matt Fraction is just kicking ass in this. And this is why I love Matt Fraction books, because you're always like, what? Why is this going like that? And then it just, boom, clicks, and you're like, yes! But that's that book. I mean, I don't even want to spoil anything. There's like 3 plots going on at the same time. You're getting perspectives from, like, Black Widow, Maria Hill, and Pepper Potts, and then you're getting Tony Stark's perspective, and then you're getting Norman Osborn's perspective. Oh, fantastic storytelling overall. And the art, Salvador LaRocca, is just beautiful. I love everything that he does. Oh my god, this is a good issue. If you can, pick up this series from like issue 1, because it has been just gold. I personally feel it's just been gold. So, yeah, awesome. Incredible Hulk, number 603. I don't know where Greg Pak's going with this, and that's really pretty much all I can say. I love Ariel Olivetti's art. For some reason, there's a tie-in with Wolverine and Daken. And then the ending, which I'm looking at the page, and I'm not going to show you because it's spoilers. I'm just like, okay. This is that moment in a comic book where you're like, I guess that twist's okay. I'm going to just let it go and see what happens. I don't know. You really got to be a hardcore Hulk fan to be reading this, because I don't see why anyone would start reading this right away. Thunderbolts 137. This is a one-shot issue. Luke Cage, freaking Danny Rand, Immortal Iron Fist. Oh yeah. It was just plain awesome. Just plain awesome. You gotta just read it. If you've never read Thunderbolts, you've never read anything to do with Luke Cage or Danny Rand, you know who the characters are, pick this issue up. You'll like it. I guarantee you you'll like it, because Rick Remender wrote this, and let me just say that Rick Remender is a fantastic writer and knows how to tell a goddamn story with freaking Danny Rand and Luke Cage. The art is pretty good. It's alright. Not my favorite. I like the artist that they had actually before this, whose name I can't remember. But overall, it was a good issue. There was a really cool part with lasers. You know, the lasers. If you like lasers, read this. No. But there's just all sorts of crazy high-tech stuff, and I think that's so cool. Deadpool, Merc with a mouth. Come on. There's so much Deadpool. I don't know where this series is going. I mean, there's a Sweet Barney, like, reference. But other than that, I don't know why I'm buying this series. Just because it's Deadpool. That's pretty much it. I didn't read Dark Reign, the List, the Hulk this week, and I didn't read my copy of Air, number 14, I think, just because. But I did finally get a copy of Cowboy Ninja Viking. Go support Image and buy this. It's like Golden Age wide. It's amazing. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, for DestroyTheSide.org, I am Mike Rappin. As always, leave comments and subscribe and blah, blah, blah. And other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next week with what I think is going to be a pretty big week. We'll see. We'll see, definitely. I hope you guys liked the little teeny tiny intro thing that I had. I tried so hard.